it's Ika here. I thought that whilst I've got a bit of free time due to us getting by, I thought I'd review how our regular season has gone and the journey so far of the Inkays. When I applied to be manager, the Inkays wasn't actually a sure thing. Definitely the other five managers had a far better chance of than me getting in, and there was quite a bit of stuff going on behind the scenes. Don't want to get into it too much, but in the end, we did end up getting picked, so we were kind of the wild card, if you call it that, of this season. Similar to like Ular and the Fit Clubbers of last BSPL, where everyone else is kind of like either an established manager already, or like in the case of like Grail, he's just generally just well respected as a player and a figure, but also like people know him for his like drafting skills in like fantasy drafts and stuff like that. So he's got that experience and reputation, whereas we were kind of going in as an underdog. And eventually we had this draft. I ended up not drafting myself, as I've kind of said before. So we like had a further thing, and we had a further issue, and then we got like a really good draft. A draft is like essentially what made our team like really like good this season was that we had a lot of underrated players and generally like people that are slept on a lot by the community, because it's just in general the way that the battle spot community works, and they look at certain things, and a lot of these guys are either newer players or they're just like not seeing much tournament success for whatever reason, or they're outside of the community, like Kaori in our GPU slots. So there's not that expectation on them, even though Kaori's very well respected in the doubles field. He only played doubles once for us, and then we picked up some really cheap but really good doubles players. Don't know how we did that, but hey. And our singles lineup is basically like Puff, 1TP, Squash, Bobo, and Kaori's like, and Misaka, like not what you think of like the rank one team in BSPL is like singles lineup, but our lineup has been doing sick. Every single week. Nearly all of these guys have got positive records or close to it. Maybe like the reason like some of them have got negative records because of hacks and stuff, rather than like them not playing well or them having a bad matchup. Which happens where it happens. It's Pokemon. I thought I'd also give an idea of like, just so it's not me talking about my team and my opinions, what other managers thought and why essentially that I'm saying what I'm saying. We were ranked fourth in the manager rankings. Pretty much, Grail was the manager that voted us first. The rest of the managers thought that we wouldn't make playoffs, essentially. Some of them thought we would get close. Like third is essentially fourth place, because you have to account that the managers can't vote up for themselves. So like, 5 managers thought Luxwaves would get into playoffs. 2 managers thought that the Helmets, the Drummers, and the Cavs would get into playoffs each. So, and 1 manager thought that we'd get into playoffs. No one thought the Fire Seers would get into playoffs, and they ended up last, but I don't think their team was as bad as people think. But you can see what we said. Murray is like very diplomatic here, but with like all the teams. So I don't believe it, all of this, but essentially they say like, we have a good doubles depth, which we do, but we have a weak OS. Ended up that our OS would go 4-1 in the season, which I don't think anyone predicted. Just because like the people are not like our slots did a lot better than our individual players because we just like I think like the way that we approached each week was better than other teams, and I hope it continues to be that way. I just thought I'd give an idea of like what happened during that season as well. So, like our season started week 1 versus the Helmets. To be honest, this was I'd say this was probably like our easiest week, and I don't mean that the Helmets are a bad team because they're obviously not. But like for us, like matchup wise, they had like a very weak Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, which just like comparative to the other teams, so we could really capitalize on that. And obviously our doubles are strong, whereas other teams have like some of them have equal USUM to us, so they're a lot harder to beat in that aspect. So yeah, essentially like we could have gone 6-0, I think, but obviously we ended up not doing that. We went 4-2, but yeah, we won very convincingly, and that kind of gave at least me, I don't know whether it gave anyone else in the team, like a confidence boost, because we came in as the new guys, and we showed that we essentially beat Noved, who's a very good manager, and obviously the former champions as well. So that really helped, showing that we could hang with everyone else. They're not kind of like just a joke team, a meme team. Although we have used some memes throughout the weeks. Week 2, we played the Farseers. As you see, we went 3-3. This was actually the second hardest week. I'm not gonna lie. The Farseers were the second toughest opponent we had after the Lux race. People may believe that, or they may call bullshit, but you look at the Farseers record, and yeah, they've lost, but look, other than this like set versus the Cavs, where they weren't taking it seriously. I don't care what Jake says, they weren't taking it seriously. BP was taking it seriously, yes. Zaya was taking it seriously. We made a bad throw, and I think Havens probably was taking it seriously, but the rest of them were just having a bit of fun, and that's fine. I'm sure Salome wanted to win, but he's a doubles guy. I don't think Jamal even wanted to win, really. He might as well have not showed up to play his game with his team. But that's my opinion. I'm sure he wanted to, like, in his head. I'm sure Jamal wanted to star on G with Charmeleon, and I can respect that a lot. But G's gonna be full try-harding. It's unlikely to happen. So yeah, I mean they were just having a bit of fun, which I can respect since they're already out. Anyways, I just wanted to say, like, before that, look at their scores. Like, they have draws or they lose 2-4. And some of these games could have gone differently. So they were not as bad as people think. But yeah, essentially this was our second hardest week. Their singles is like really good, so like that matches up quite well against our team. I think we did have some issues that week in terms of like just general focus. So that it wasn't major, but I was away, so some of the teams that we brought would have been probably different at that if I'd have been there. But that's little things. I think they deserve that draw. And we were losing 2-0, and we ended up coming back, which was really funny. Week 3 versus Lux Rays, we could have actually gone 3-3 this week. They were probably our hardest. Well, they were our hardest opponents, but we had a lot of issues this week. We were close to tying up the week, actually. We got unlucky on some of our games, which happens with Pokemon. I mean, people focused on how we've gotten lucky in like certain weeks, but we've also gotten unlucky in differential versus like the Lux race especially, but also the helmets. And I think we might have been able to beat the Farseers as well. But yeah, that happens. So luck goes both ways, but obviously we like the luck that people remember is the ones that have ended us in first place. But yeah, there was problems. They definitely deserved to win the week, but we didn't have Puff, or we essentially, when we lost, ended up losing because of I think Pink Silver got hacked. So we were out at that point. We'd been 2-3 instead of 2-4, 1-4. Then we'd be putting Squash like last minute over Kari to, he hadn't had any real practice or anything like that. It gave him a bit of experience, and then like when he came back in week 5 versus the undefeated Dark, hopefully that helped. The fact that he was on stage and that he knew 2 weeks, he knew week 3 that I was like, you're probably gonna be our GPU starter week 5. So hopefully that helped him out. Week 4, we just kind of woke up after week 3. We brought some bad teams as well, which was really we didn't play to our strengths in terms of like we weren't bringing solid teams. We weren't like prepared for our opponents like comfort picks. In some cases, like we weren't like versus Jamal, like we should have been prepared for his comfort picks, and we tried in a certain extent, but obviously like in week 4 and week 5 we made sure that was always the case, that we if there was like styles that they preferred that they were more threatening on, then we made sure that they didn't have good matchups in those styles. In terms of differential, I think we could have been 4-2 both weeks, but at the same time we could have been 6 overs helmets. Probably could have been like higher differential these weeks. So it's like swings and roundabouts with luck over a long period of time. You never know how it went, but yeah. Basically what happened was we ended up because our differential and the fact that the Lux race like lost to the helmets, which it was a bit unlucky that they lost 2-4. I mean, Grail's game was unlucky, but I feel like he was also not in. I think he has some stuff going on, so that probably didn't help out. Essentially, it ended up with us in first place, and we got a bye into finals, where we will meet the winner of the Cavs and Lux race. Who knows how that will go? Whatever happens, I'm really proud of how far we as a team have come. Like the players are great. Like I've met, got to know new people as well, a part of BSPL, which has been on my team, which has been great. We've done it mostly. I know like other teams like definitely during like the semi-finals, like these guys will be having help from like established players from the lower 3 teams, the Cavs and Lux race, but we won't get any of that in the finals. But I know that the fact that we're doing it ourselves and that we're putting the work in ourselves is really and that we put in that work ourselves just to get here without any, like there was like maybe 1 or 2 occasions where we might have played like 4 games outside like the entire season, outside of 4 or 5 games outside of like our group of like 9 people. So and definitely like I can only think of one time, which was the 1TP game versus Murray, where because 1TP was bringing a screens team, he asked Salome for help, The rest of it is like pretty much all done internally, which is really, really cool. Because I know like most teams, like last year, the side pups like Sinara and other people like outsourced to people outside of the team. So yeah, I mean the guys are gone above and beyond what I thought we'd do. I thought we had a chance of getting into playoffs, of course, but getting in first place and like just generally playing really well. Like if you look at our like teams, like over the 5 weeks, I think like some of our losses both some of our losses have been like just based off like hacks, in the sense that it could have gone either way depending on how the luck went. I mean, some of our wins are like that as well, but I think there's only like probably four games where we've lost due to like bad prep or the other players been playing better. Like, there's not that many throughout the whole season, which is really, really good considering like we don't have any like really, really big names other than Puff and Puff and Carry are like the two big names that we have on our team. Like even they're not there's not Cam and Edu or Grail. It's not Grail and Edu. It's not Cam and who else is on Cam's team? Can't say. It's not the same. It's not the same amount of renown. But we've done like really well with what we've got, and I think like a lot of these guys have shown that they are actually really good. I think like Pink Sylvie could have gone 3-0 if they like the luck was just unfortunate. I mean they played the end game wrong. Pink Sylvie played the end game wrong there, but like the luck was bad, which was what caused the loss. 1TP like he brought a bad team, but if he brought a good team he could have gone 4-0. Poverty, it was a bad team, but like most of these, like no one, I'm like really happy with the result, is what I'm saying, basically. And our guys all played really well. Like obviously even like Legacy deserved to win, at least deserved to win the Mish game, and he just got hacked out of hell. I don't know, I can't remember the Havens game. Bobo, like, yeah, he lost to Plas, but he's been doing so much work behind the scenes, and I wish I could have played him more. In week 5 was just like so tense, and we actually gave him a chance to play. It was like either him or Squash were gonna play GBU. And Squash ended up winning the series, and he ended up winning the series versus Dark as well. So, obviously that was a good decision. But yeah, I thought that's about it really. Hopefully we'll do 4-on finals, and I'll probably instead of writing a review of our season on YouTube, or not writing a review, like making a video on YouTube, I'll probably just write a post. And yeah, there we go.